Hello friends, Disclosure Artist here. Welcome back, and today I'm going to be discussing the massive Delta craft sightings that have occurred in my life, because I think that they're all interrelated, some of these occurrences. My partner and I were going out to dinner, and we were waiting for a table, and we were sitting outside the restaurant on a bench with one of those little beeper pager things that tell you when your table's ready. We were just, I think, talking when we spotted something directly above us, directly above the restaurant, very silently moving. It looked to be advanced technology craft. It was definitely an advanced vehicle because it was completely silent. It was illuminated at the bottom, and no one else seemed to see it. I remember getting up off the bench and running around the corner of the restaurant so I could catch a better look. There must have been at least 60 people outside. Nobody saw it at all. Nobody looked up, nobody pointed, nobody made any exclamations. And what's remarkable about this is that the sighting of this craft was on the same exact block that I had my out-of-body experience. So I don't think there's any coincidence there. I think those two incidents are extremely related, and to not connect the dots between the two would just be to be in denial. This isn't even the most profound event that occurred with regard to Delta craft sightings. On another occasion, this happened actually just this past December, on December 12th to be exact. I was driving. I had a passenger in the car, just in the back seat here, right here, and I remember taking a turn. I believe we were in an area that it must have been wooded, it must have been mildly mountainous enough for the fact that I could see an opening in the trees as I was driving that permitted a view of the valley down below. So I could see city lights below the vantage point that I was at. So as I was driving about 50 miles an hour, I see an enormous black triangular shaped craft, almost loitering in the trees. And the same thing occurred when I saw the craft at the restaurant. There was almost like a temporal interference where it seemed as though time was kind of standing still. It's difficult to really explain the sensation of it, but I can rectify it in the sense that when I was driving and I saw the full craft, I mean, when I saw something over the restaurant, it was almost just the corner of it, and the building, of course, obscured the rest of it. But when I was driving on the other occasion, just this past December, I could see the entirety of the craft. It was enormous. My best guess would have been the size of a football field. It had three white lights on each corner underneath of it. And again, I was driving at least 45 miles an hour, and I didn't have more than maybe 100-foot gap to perceive this event. But I remember as I was making the turn, I saw it through my window, and I pointed with my finger, and I said, "What is that?" And my passenger looked, and she saw it as well, and she goes, "I've never seen anything like that before." And I said, "Well, it's, knowing full well that it was advanced technology, it's just one of those things. I couldn't say for sure if it was extraterrestrial or not, or if it was an ARV, alien reproduction vehicle, or one of our secret space program craft. I know that what I've come to understand is that the Delta craft are servicing on a continuous basis the moon from Earth, and again, I couldn't say if it was ours or theirs, but I didn't get any negative vibrations from it. When I got home, my mind was blown, because I mean, if they can come that big and that close, it's very apparent that everything else is true that I've ever suspected. It substantiated a whole lot of things for me, and I, from that moment on, have been completely on the other side of the fence with regard to this phenomenon. Anything else that I've described, I suppose somebody could come up with an explanation and convince it away. But this was the straw that broke the camel's back. This was the cherry on top of the cake that I absolutely cannot ignore whatsoever. I'm no longer somebody who is 99% sure that this is real. I'm over 100% sure that something absolutely astonishing is going on with our civilization. And the crazy thing about this UFO sighting is that after I dropped off my passenger, I believe she was going to see a movie. I mean, it was as if we had shared a special experience together. We were both almost on the verge of tears. It was just so profound. And immediately after that, I got another ride with a couple who are of the non-believing caliber variety, if you will. And I was just so elated and excited about what had just happened to me that I didn't even bother to beta test them to see, temperature check. Are these people on the level? Will they be able to handle this information? I just simply blurted it out. And of course, with the luck of the universe, I ended up in a 45-minute traffic jam with these people staring at me like I had 3 heads from the back seat with my mirror here so I could see exactly the type of energy that I had just created in the car. These people did not believe me at all. They had absolutely no idea what I was talking about, and they immediately thought I was crazy. So that was awkward. But I know what I saw. It was incredible. And the most astonishing thing about it is that I was actually, because of all the people that I've met and talked to about this phenomenon, eventually I got a person in my car who worked for the New York Times. I believe he was a photographer, and I ended up speaking to him for a good half an hour as I took him into the city, and he ended up setting up an interview with me with the New York Times for them to interview me because of the subject of UFOs, which I seem to be very learned in. And I spoke to the writer from the New York Times over the phone. She interviewed me, and the day before our interview, this was like a pre-interview that we had, but she scheduled another one, I think, for a month later. The day before, I had this UFO experience. I saw the massive Delta craft. And the next day, she failed to contact me. I guess she put the date in wrong. I reached out to her. She said that she totally forgot and made a mistake. And I said it was okay. And essentially, long story short, the whole story got totally squashed. I remember trying to push the issue and reaching out to her continuous basis, and she just basically said that the plans to come out here and film have been rescheduled, and sorry, etc., and so on and so forth. It's just typical, I suppose, with regard to these types of things. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and stay vigilant and stay well.